Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I want to talk a little bit about silver going up, how high it can go up, and why I believe it has a very strong possibility that it is going to go up and a lot higher than a lot of people think, unless you're a pumper, I guess I should say. Then the average person will think. Because a lot of even the stackers in this stacking community think that some numbers are not very likely that it could happen. They believe silver is going to go up, and they're happy about that. And I believe silver is going to go up, and I'm happy about that. What number? I mean, here's the thing. At a worst case scenario, if silver just does 20% for the year, I'm happy with that. A 20% gain on your money is a nice return. However, it has a lot more potential than that. And even if worst case scenario, I continue to see these little 20% gains, I'll be happy. And so I'm going to show you guys some data today. We're going to go in a little bit to the M2 money supply. We're going to go into a little bit of spoofing. And we're going to talk a little bit about what happens when you manipulate something. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps out the channel. And leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out more than you know. I can't thank you enough if you do it. Please, I want to say a special thank you to all of our channel members. It is only $1.99 to become a channel member, and a lot of perks come with it. One, your comments go directly to my phone, and two, that's only comments, not replies, though, the way it's set up. And two, you have a shot at getting a free ounce of silver if you're one of the lucky. Every month we do some kind of a special event where somebody gets sent an ounce, so it's pretty cool on that note, too. And it is only $1.99 to become a member. But with that being said, let's jump in instead of spending too much time just talking, because this is going to be a good video. Okay, so right off the bat, what is silver trading at? Silver right now is trading at $33.77. We've been continuing to see it rise. Granted, $35 is the 11-year high right now. I would not be surprised if we take that out. However, I think it's a strong possibility we'll probably end up taking it out next month. Now, I know a lot of people are excited. A lot of YouTubers are out there saying that, oh, we're going to take it out this week, and it's right around the corner, and you're going to be a millionaire overnight. But I'm going to be realistic, because there's a few different things coming down the line that I believe they will try to cool the price of precious metals. One of them, obviously, we've talked about already, is what's going on with the Fed meeting here this week. That's going to have a big factor. And then the end of the first financial quarter. Once the end of the first financial quarter clears, then we'll see what happens. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors that are driving silver higher, but there is a lot of manipulation. And I always see it in the comments. There's always somebody out there that says manipulation doesn't happen, and that's just your excuse, and this and that. The truth of the matter is, a lot of banks have been in trouble for manipulating silver. I happened to just do a quick search because I chose JP Morgan because they're one of the top ones. But JP Morgan precious metals traders found guilty of spoofing. Cleared of racketeering, but still found guilty of fraud. 2 former JP Morgan metal traders found guilty in landmark spoofing case. I mean, here's the thing. Guilty pleas? I mean, usually these things settle. So if they're found guilty, I mean, that's something that there was no way around it. They had to take the guilty. A lot of people think that it doesn't happen that much because a lot of times big companies like JP Morgan and other big banks would rather just settle. If they can settle a price and not be found guilty, then that works in their advantage. But the truth of the matter is, spoofing happens. Any kind of manipulation of precious metals, all that stuff is taking place. And a lot of people think that this is the actual price of silver. And to a certain point, it is right now. $33.77 is. However, you can't buy physical silver for that. I challenge anybody to go out, and you will have a few exceptions to that rule. Hey, my buddy Jim, he just sold me some silver at spot price or under spot price. There's always going to be an exception to that. Because, some people, either they need money or they believe that this is the high. Why? Because we are almost at an 11-year high. Gold is no different. Manipulation happens with gold too. Even though gold is at an all-time high and has been constantly hitting all-time highs, I want to say like 40 times already this year, something like that. It's crazy how many new all-time highs we've had on gold. Now, here's the thing. Smart money, big money, moves into gold first. The everyday people will move into silver. Silver's time is coming. Now, is it going to come tomorrow? I don't know when it will come. However, we are continuing to see it go higher and higher. And what I want people to understand, once you realize that manipulation is taking place, there's a certain rules in economics. There's certain rules in the environment. There's certain rules that always takes place. And I always like to use the beach ball analogy. Some people want to use a spring analogy. When you can press a spring, it shoots up with a lot of extra force because you forced it down. I always like the beach ball one because it's my own. I hadn't heard anybody else use it, and therefore, I just want to be a little more original. But when you hold down a beach ball underwater, what happens? You've got that force that's true supply and demand and economics, you can say, pushing that beach ball higher. It's pushing silver higher. But then you have the force of the person holding the beach ball down underwater. And eventually you lose it. You let go, you ease up on the force, it slips, something happens, and what happens? Well, the beach ball comes up to the surface. And in this case, silver is going to come to actually where it belongs, true market value. But here's the thing. When you think about it, I got a kick out of this. The further you push it down, the more energy is collected. Before long, it comes shooting up through the surface, and if you're unlucky, it smacks you right in the face. Well, here's the thing. This manipulation is going to smack the short positions in the face. It's literally going to take out, for those of you that don't know what a short position is, it basically means you borrow someone else's precious metals, you borrow contract metals, and you sell it on the market. And by doing that, you're pushing the price lower. And in this case, we see a lot of people putting paper contracts on the market. Not physical, they're selling paper. So a lot of people think they have silver and they don't. And eventually, when the manipulation of all this comes clean, and it will, it's going to shoot the price up. Now, how high can it shoot it up? That's a question that a lot of people have always talked about. So I want to pull up real quick the M2 money supply. For those of you that don't know what the M2 money supply is, I got the definition right here. It's a broad measure of money supply, including the M1, cash, checking accounts, readily accessible deposits, plus savings accounts, time deposits like CDs, and retail money mutual market funds. Okay, once you understand how much money is out there, then you have to understand, well, what's going on with the M2 money supply? How does that affect me? So this is an M2 money supply historical chart, as you can see here. And if you've been following a lot of YouTubers, everybody talks about this, especially because we've been seeing it grow more rapidly. Did we start to see it come down a little bit? Yes, but then we're going right back up again. And a lot of people don't want you to know about this, because once you realize how much money is being created, you start really getting nervous, because prices here in 1980 at, we'll say, 1,500. I mean, think about that. 1,500, and now this is in billions, compared to today, which is 21,000. You're talking, I don't know, 14 times more roughly. Once you realize that, then you understand the growth of prices could essentially, if the same circumstances were repeated in 1980, today, the same set of circumstances, then you have a 14x move on precious metals, specifically silver. Silver went up to $50. Now multiply that by 14, and you have a pretty big number. However, I don't want you thinking that we're gonna see silver go up to, let's see here, what is that even? 14 times 50. I should know it's like 700, but boom. times 50, 700. So when you think about it, I don't want you to think $700 silver, but this is a number that people have painted before. I've heard this. But you also have the gold-silver ratio. How much gold comes out of the ground versus how much silver comes out of the ground. It's not 88 to 1. And a lot of people want you to think that, oh, well, even when you ask Google, because I sit here at night sometime and I'll just talk to my Google. That's the advantage of living alone. You have Google sitting there listening to you all the time. Needless to say, I will ask Google questions, and it blows my mind some of the numbers that Google tells you. I almost think Google's in on it. Hey, Google, are you in on the manipulation of silver?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey, Google, how high will silver prices go?
Here's some information from the web that might possibly help. On the website capital.com, they say, according to Kitco, silver price will move higher in 2025. Analysts expect silver prices to reach between $36 and $38 per ounce in 2025. This increase is driven by growing industrial demand and a moderation in the gold-silver ratio. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
I mean, think about that. $36. That's what they're thinking the high is. That's what Google's thinking. $36. We're going to go a whole lot higher than $36, I believe, this year. I mean, every year they come out low. In fact, earlier when I asked her that question, but I must have worded it a little different, she said, chances are we'll see $100 silver by 2040. And I'm like, what in the world? But here's the thing. You have to understand what's going on. The manipulation's there, the money supply growth. That's a lot of money. When the money starts flooding into precious metals, which has already started, people are already moving money into it. When that money starts flowing in, the price will have to rise. The manipulation cannot be held forever. A lot of people think manipulation will never end. But the truth of the matter is, just like when they run a sale, think of an item that you really like besides silver. Okay, when they run a sale on that item, we'll say shoes. I don't know. Maybe you like shoes. Who knows? And they run a big sale on shoes. Half price. What happens? They run out. Whenever something is on sale, it's basically being manipulated cheaper. They're making it cheaper so they can sell out. And when you're giving silver away at potentially half price, even though their half price doesn't seem like half price because they're manipulating the price and they're manipulating it down, so you're essentially getting it at half price. And by doing that, it will continue to sell out. And at some point, the big stockpile reserves of silver are going to run out of silver. When they run out of silver, they no longer have control. Now, some people will say, come on, you're being ridiculous. They're never going to run out of silver. Here's the thing. As long as you're spending, we're going to look at your personal finances. If you're spending more money than you make each month, eventually you will run out of your savings account. Why? Because that difference is going to eat into your surplus. So if you spend, I'm going to use small numbers just to make it easy. If you spend $1,000 a month and you make $800 a month, then you're short $200 every month. That $200, if you've got a savings account that has $1,000 in it, it'll take you 5 months before you run out. Well, the same thing is happening with silver right now. We're continuing to see a deficit, but not of $200. We're seeing a deficit in ounces. When those ounces run out, that is it. I mean, yeah, they'll still be mining it, but if they can't keep up with the demand now, there's no way they'll be able to keep up with the demand later when their surpluses have already ran out. Now, what happens when you can't keep up with demand? Well, obviously, the price increases. You can't manipulate and say the price of silver is $33 when nobody, even SLV, nobody out there has any silver for sale. Then clearly the manipulation is over. Now, a lot of people say, well, what will happen before that? The truth of the matter is something will have to give, and they'll have to admit that, hey, we don't have the silver. But I expect something will break, like a cyber attack, probably. Some major cyber attack that will lose track of essentially all of the paper ounces. And then they're just going to come out and say, that's it. The silver has been, something went wrong. We don't have the silver we thought. People were overselling it that didn't have it. Who knows? Somebody actually told me the other day in a comment that BlackRock might go bankrupt. And if they go bankrupt, we can just push all the essentially paper contracts on them just before they go bankrupt. But here's the thing. Even when that happens, true price has to come out. Someone will have to be the fall guy. There's always a fall guy to everything. Even the banking crisis had a fall guy. Once you understand that, then you understand, okay, prices of precious metals are going to skyrocket. They have to. The question is how much. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys $700. I'm not going to tell you $300. I use things as references and show some math of what could happen. I mean, chances are not all the money is going to flow into silver. A lot of it's going to flow into gold. But here's the thing. A lot of the money already is flowing into gold. That's why we're seeing gold prices increasing every day. We're literally hitting new highs. It seems like every week we're coming up with new all-time highs. When you look at we'll just look at a 5-year chart. Look at this. We're starting to pick up. It's starting to build up huge momentum. And as that momentum continues to go higher and higher, a lot of it has to do with the manipulation. That's why it's going to overshoot. It's not just going to go to its fair market value. Fair market value happens when people don't manipulate it. I mean, you think about the beach ball scenario that I just gave you. If you hold the beach ball an inch underwater, how much energy is being compressed there? When you let go of it and it's only an inch underwater, it shoots up to the surface. Probably not even enough energy to lift the ball out of the water. But if you hold it all the way down 4 or 5 feet, when you let go of it, it will lift off the water. It will shoot. And then that means when that shoots, it basically means that it overshoots fair market value. So when people say silver can't go to 300, it can't go to 700, I mean, here's the thing. These numbers can be achieved. The question is, how long will they hold for that? And then the bigger question is, you don't know where the top is going to be. That's why a lot of people sold recently at $35, and they're bragging how they sold their silver at $35. You can't pick up silver right now. I mean, it's tough. I can't find anything for 35 or less. That is one of the numbers that I'm targeting right now. I want some silver for $35 or less in 1 ounce form. Why 1 ounce, if you ask? Because I just like the 1 ounce stuff because it's smaller, more people can afford it, and when the prices climb, if I need a little bit of money, I can get that from 1 ounce or 2 ounces or 3 ounces. I don't want necessarily any more kilos. I don't want any more 10-ounce bars. I want smaller stuff, so if I need the money to make ends meet, because the truth of the matter is, I don't plan on cashing my metals in to get rich or to cash them all in to make ends meet. You know, I hear some people say when silver skyrockets to, let's say, $100, would you sell all your metals? You would instantly probably be rich. You know, the truth of the matter is, what are you rich in? You're rich in paper. All they got to do is double tap you and keep doing what they're already doing. And then metals will continue to go higher. Your cash will continue to go lower. You know, metals are like a battery. Think about a battery for a minute. You got some kind of cordless drill or something that you use a battery for. What do? You put your energy into the battery. You charge that battery up. And that battery stores your energy for later use. What would you do if you had a battery that was essentially losing the charge day by day? You know, you charge it today and then tomorrow it's only half charged and you haven't even used it. Or you charge it today and in a couple hours it's half charged. You would probably get rid of it. I wouldn't want it. I would dump it. Go get me a new battery. Well, here's the thing. That's exactly what's happening to your fiat currency. No matter what currency you're using, what country you live in, your money, your currency is getting devalued. It's not holding your labor. And that's what money's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a store of your labor, so that later on in life or later on down the line, when you don't feel like working, maybe you want a vacation, you have some money. They tell you that, oh no, inflation's good. That's what keeps people making more money. Okay, that means that you're saving up for retirement with a number that keeps going. It's like running a race and you don't know where the finish line is. You're going to keep moving the finish line further and further back. And that's exactly what happens when you retire and you're saving it in fiat dollars, fiat currency. But if you're buying and investing in gold and silver, well, then that is real wealth. It's continuing to climb with everything else. But here's the thing. Right now, silver is manipulated down. It's on sale. It's essentially half price, maybe. Who knows? We don't know what the true silver price is. But once it breaks the manipulation, it's going to skyrocket. More money will pile in. People always want to invest in stuff when it climbs to new all-time highs. How many people are buying gold right now? Everybody. And not just because, gold is doing good, and gold still is a great buy. Not as great as silver, in my personal opinion. I say that all the time. But don't think for a minute that I don't have any gold. I've got gold. I believe in gold. I believe gold is a store of wealth. It doesn't quite have the... what's the word that I want to use? It doesn't have the volatility. That's the best way to say it. When you look at silver and you look at can you imagine if you bought silver up here and then only see it plunge all the way down here? Or if you bought it here and then it came down and you had to wait all these years to get your money back? But here's the thing. Every once in a blue moon, I shouldn't even say blue moon, because 1980, that was one major spike. We definitely saw a major spike in 2011. I would not be surprised to see another big spike coming pretty soon. And when that spikes, that's when these gold to silver ratios really plunge down. That's when you have the opportunity to trade some of that silver in for gold. Now, I'm not knocking the people out there that are buying gold. Like I said, I have gold. I like gold. Gold spiked here, and gold is climbing. Thing is, when you look at the two charts, every time in history, gold moved first and then silver followed. And once you understand that, we've already got the move on gold. It's just a matter of time before silver happens. So then the question would be, okay, what should I be buying right now? I would want to buy silver. Do I pick up gold? Of course I do, because I've been stacking silver for a while. But I'm making these videos for the people out there that essentially are trying to learn more about it or keep you confident of what's coming, because it gets frustrating. I mean, think about the person that bought silver. Maybe you bought silver here. We'll just say we'll pick a 86, and I'm picking 86. Maybe you started buying American Silver Eagles in 86 when silver was only $5. And now you look at it and you're like, well, it's 6 times the value, but I'm not rich. I mean, here's the thing. Whenever someone starts buying silver, they never start out heavy. When I first started, I didn't even start out heavy compared to what I buy now. I try to always pick up regularly. I'm a firm believer in it. I've got a video where I picked up kilo bars one day. And in the video, you hear me saying, I hope I didn't make a mistake. I just paid $600 a bar for these. I hope I didn't make a mistake on these kilo bars. And you could hear it in my voice that I didn't sound as confident. This was a long time ago. And now I look at it, and now it's confidence, because I understand. I've seen the charts. I know the direction that we're going. And once you understand all this, you start seeing, man, silver is going to just skyrocket. Am I really putting into it? Am I really stacking? Am I, just putting a couple bucks in a month? Or am I really invested in it? And eventually, when it does skyrocket, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people that want to invest in it. Just like when silver went to $50, there was a lot of people that thought, oh, hey, we just went up 10 times. I think now's a good time to buy. Or in 2011, oh, silver's $50. It's at an all-time high. Now's a great time to buy. Only to see the manipulation come back into play and just beat it down. I mean, it takes a lot more money or a lot more currency to be spent every time they have to manipulate the price of silver down. And here's the thing, it's going to continue. The manipulation will continue until it can't. And here's what you can be confident in. The amount in the surplus, the amount in your bank account, if you're having a deficit every month, the surplus will run out. They cannot keep this shell game going on forever. They need to find a fall guy, and they need to acquire as much as they can until that day. And that's the key to it. And hopefully you're doing the same, because they know what they're doing. And, you know, this little downturn in the economy that we're seeing now, I don't know if you want to call it little. Some will call it little, some won't. This is stopping you from buying silver because it's making it harder on you. You're spending more money on your everyday items, which means less money is going to go to silver. Or you're being distracted with cryptocurrencies and all these other types of, I'm going to say, fake investments. These fake investments that distract you. It's noise. The truth of the matter is silver and gold are going to continue to go higher. I just happen to like silver better because I think the growth potential is a lot more. But I don't like it enough to where I'm going to go all of a sudden tomorrow and cash in all my silver and go buy all gold. Cash in all my gold and go buy all silver. I'm going to keep both positions that I've already accumulated, because every time you trade your metals, you lose a small commission. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did and you made it this far, definitely let me know. I made it to the end. I love seeing it. When I see people's comment, I made it to the end, it makes me feel good about a 30-minute, 27-minute video. And hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, do the ultimate thing. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. Everybody forgets to hit the thumbs up button a lot of the time. So it really helps if you do. And leave me a comment, even if it's just good morning. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you all for watching. Take care and have a great one. Bye-bye.